Can you play it, Bob?
Yeah, if you
If you give me all the lyrics, I can probably sing along. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I have that song memorized.
Okay.
I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride. Something touched me deep inside the day the music died.
And like growing up, I had like a lot of friends. I was into, you know, of course, like rap music. So I grew up listening to like East Coast, like New York City stuff, like DITC, Big L, and like all that. And then all my other friends were all like indie rock kids. Like I grew up in like a funny little community in Jacksonville, Florida, where like everybody made like mixtapes and trade mixtapes all the time. It was a big like mixtape culture, and so like kids would make tapes and there'd be like indie rock songs and like old country songs and gangster rap songs. It'd be all across the board. Like all my friends listened to everything. Yeah, totally. And I was like, you know, in high school, like wearing like winter camo and like lugs boots or whatever. But I would be at the Modest Mouse show in like '97 or whatever. Right. The music died, get it, Bob? And we were singing bye bye Miss America. I try not to do the same thing twice. The new record is going to be mostly about science. I've been really into science lately. I've been really into physics. It's impossible. There's no way I can get over that. The first two records were all just about like being a dorky kid in the suburbs, and and like these two have been like really academic, I guess, for me. I miss school. I like school a lot.
I know it's hopeless, hell ain't big enough to hold us back. Come on, let's pick a fight. We hunt for trouble tonight, tonight, tonight.
I walked in and I walked back out, and Bob was sitting there with a couple of people, and he walks out and he goes, "What's your sign?" Or he goes, "Let me guess your sign." And he goes, "Gemini." And I go, "No." He goes, "Aquarius." And I go, "No." And he goes, "Scorpio." And I go, "No." "Cancer." Keeps going and whittles it down to about 3, and he goes, "Give me a letter." and I go, "Sagittarius." And he goes, "Ah, I knew it. I knew it."
You knew it all.
He knew it all along.
So how long has it been since you've been calling this area home? So you were here for a little bit.
2003 is when I left. I graduated college from Southern Methodist University, and I left.
I knew it.
Ah!
Deracinate the weed, drive it out of the loam. No, it's hopeless, hell ain't big enough to hold us back.
You keep coming back here to work with a lot of the musicians and stuff. Like you work with Congleton and a lot of local area musicians on Pomegranate.
This is the place that taught me how to make music.
Yeah? How so?
Well, because I was just a battle rapper before I came here. I mean, I wrote some rap lyrics and stuff, but it wasn't until I worked with that guy right there, DJ Riraj, who taught me how to make music.
With fingers frozen, protractedly probing the trap, we found the trouble uncoupled like a mouse that pries the person from the yap. The victim claimed by the sprung mechanism that broke its opponent's back. Crimson coat.
I get a general idea of like what I want to do, like subject matter wise, and then I kind of slowly from there get an idea of how I want it to tie to me personally, and then I get like how I want it to sound musically. And it doesn't really make sense, but most of the direction that I got for that record was from the song "Young Americans" by David Bowie.
Okay.
And I think the only song that it's really kind of stands out on is the Wondersmith with that funky bass line. As I heard that, I was like, man, that like androgynous bisexual British white guy made the funkiest song ever, and I was like, God, I want to try and do that.
We attack! I know you know this battle hymn don't need quoting, spoken over ad nauseum, darling. Sharpest story every veteran politician talking head will get.
Either I'm too funky or I'm not funky enough. Somewhere in between. David Bowie is like so anti-funky that he can be funky as hell, and I'm not James Brown. I think that's what held me back. Either that or I'm chicken shit.
You said that.
You said that, I did.
No, it's hopeless, hell ain't big enough to hold us back. Sorry about the raid, guys, but it will be alright. Tonight, 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 on our show. Tonight, 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 you know we're right.
I gotta cut it off right there. So it's Turtles, Politics, Mike Tyson, the Return of Trees, Ron Washington, the manager of the Texas Rangers, and then...
Oh, you're not talking about Walker.
No, not talking about Walker, the Texas Rangers. Not the Texas Rangers. Is that all of them? Is that all of them?
That's all.
That's all of them. A lot of people were initially attracted to my action because they saw the death of Deep Ellum freestyle and reaction. They saw it on YouTube and they watched it all damn day, and it got me in a bit of hot water in a place far away because of things that I say. Sometimes they're in my mouth, but eventually things will change and it'll wash it all out. And look at us now, facing a situation again as Deep Ellum starts to rise out of the ashes, I guess. And see, we see trees and it's resurrected just for a bit. See, and I hope they don't catch the same problems that Dada caught this eve. With these people raiding, kicking up inside of their doors as politics makes my headache, so I want to hide it from y'all. So I just want to withdraw, pull my head inside of my shell like a turtle, twiddle my thumbs and just sit for a spell. But see, the realizing that it's not going to escape or change makes me put my head back out of my shell once again. And so I realize that maybe it might not work. I got a respect for the Vanilla Ice drummer putting in the cash third. So he can put this cash inside of this casket that was dead, and so trees resurrected back of Deep Ellum again. And as I'm wondering, is it ever going to change? Is Deep Ellum going to be back to once it was one day? Because when I first moved here, and I was a shiny young buck, a 17, first time in Dallas, living this dream, I went and saw the Flaming Lips with a girl named Nicole, who I fell in love with for a little bit, but then fell out of love with slow. I guess that's the way it goes. Things, they shift and change, and the next thing you know, you forget about it, babe. And that's just the way that baseball be. That's a Ron Washington quote, kind of butchered by me. But anyway, left to the side and all said and done, I could get political about it like Bruce Springsteen for fun. I could talk songs about this and sing Skip James, but I don't know all those things by heart, and I'm not that smart, babe. And I leave politics to the wise guys. Me, I spit these rhymes, and everybody who likes to listen follows on in due time. But I know that once upon a time, a long time ago, Deep Ellum was the place to go, and now it's a dead asshole. It's just sitting here, rotting slow. Every empty building is turned into a condom thrilling, and it's driving me crazy, yo. But Hal Samples and the rest are holding deep hands, and the drummer from Vanilla Ice is put in the cash again. And so hopefully trees will grow out of its acorn quick, and it'll be resurrected back to the place that it once was. I got kicked out of there when I was 20 years old watching Yola Tango because I wanted to steal the set list, yo. Before the encore came on, I reached up and I stole the set list off the stage, and they kicked me out that fuck. And so I went over and I stood over in Deep Ellum Live, or maybe it was the Gypsy Tea Room, and watched Slick Rick rhyme. I stood out the front door and watched him spit like this. Deep Ellum used to be the shit, and now it's an abyss. And so the death of Deep Ellum happened once. I freestyled about this, and now I want to change it all up. And I hope that we can put our fists aside for a bit, and the TAPC will lay off all these club owners' dicks, and we can just exist and have some houses that are nice with a little loft space and some place to rock a mic, a nice place to get a drink, and a burrito stand. I think this is all that Deep Ellum needs, and not a fucking kitchen sink. This is all that I am asking for the action, in fact, but this is me who doesn't live here, just spitting it all back. I'm just wistful, old man simple, thinking of days past, when it was back there with Deep Ellum was a fucking blast, but now it's all Greenville, and that shit is under attack. Upper Greenville's catching the same thing that Deep Ellum caught way back, and then it was Fair Park and Exposition, shift and change. I lived on Gaston Avenue for a bunch, and I loved to drink in the rain. That place was beautiful, and now it's all changed too, but it's alright. Things change, ebb and flows, old news. That's the way that it goes. There was other topics to hit. I can't seem to remember all of them. Oh, Mike Tyson, how could I forget? My brain skips a step, and that's funny. That's a good example now, because he used to knock us all out. Now he's bigger than a fucking house. The guy used to be the king, knocked everybody out in the ring, but now he's 350 pounds with a tattoo face, I think. And it's funny. He used to be the champ of all, and then he fell off the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a fall. He's splitting egg yolk everywhere. Deep Ellum is the same deer. We all gotta die someday, so let's put our hands in the air. Take a little bit of drink and pour it out on the curb, I think, because Deep Ellum died, but maybe it'll come back one day, I guess. And in the meantime, I'll drink this Lone Star with y'all. Thanks for coming into my show and finally fucking being involved.